So some front yards look absolutely amazing and then others don't. Take a look at these images on the screen. These are the types of front yards that you'll see all over the neighborhood that it's about time for a change. If you are looking for a way to spruce up your front yard, make it look awesome, make it look professional, designed, this is going to be the video for you. I'm going to teach you something called the cohesion key. Once you learn this, you're going to know why something flows and looks beautiful and why other things just need an update. Welcome to the design studio. We are going to have some fun today because this is one of my favorite things to teach because it makes such a difference. So a lot of the times when a front yard is off, it's not because it needs more plants or the hardscaping is off. It's more about there's nowhere for your eye to visually connect. Doesn't know where to go. It's too busy, things are broken up, the materials are off, like there's all kinds of reasons. But the thing is, when you understand the cohesion key, now you're gonna set up that front yard in a way where it's easy to stroll along the paths and find out what the focal points are. Everything is subtle, gentle, it's cleaned up, and it makes a lot more sense. So here's what I want. We're gonna show some images that just need some work, and we're going to go through those. We're going to train your eye, if you will. Then we're going to get into some very good examples that show the cohesion key and how those different nuances that make up the cohesion key are laid out. And then finally, you and I are going to take one of those images that's off and we are going to go live into the software and we're going to design it together with everything that we learned and set this thing up so that it goes from a really kind of nasty before to something that you would absolutely be proud of, that maybe it's the perfect template for you. The only thing I ask is let's get some likes on this video. Been doing a lot of videos, a lot of views, things are going great, but we need a couple more likes. The goal is 250 likes for this video. It's free, it's easy, you smash it. And if you want to learn more tips like this and be part of the community, consider subscribing. Let's get into the examples. All right, so let's get into the bad images to train your eye. The first thing is no line or shape leading the eye. And this yard has pieces, as you can see, but nothing connects them. Your eye just kind of hops around. It doesn't really know where to settle on, and it's not smooth. So you see, we got a bed here. Maybe that guy is coming around here. It looks like it might be jumping over the sidewalk, but then it just gets lost. It's just not defined, and it makes a big difference, just the edging alone. The next thing is abrupt height jumps. So this is when height changes too suddenly. It stops the visual momentum. Flow works best when things transition gradually. So you got a crimson queen, then you got a rose bush, then you got these pyramid boxwoods, and it's almost like a fortress of blocking the architecture of this house. Whereas if you had more of a layering effect with small, medium, large, it would be softer and more appealing. I think of layering as almost like your clothes. Like it seems like you do a lot better when you have layers on. Like for instance, I got a shirt on, but I got this layer here, look a little bit more professional, right? It's the same kind of thing with your landscaping. All right, next. Ugh, this guy. We actually did this project, and I'll show this video if you want to go see this project in real life. I could put something on there, but man, it's random gaps or holes in the beds. Pretty self-explanatory here. Move myself up here, but we got a big hole here. We got a hole here. Basically, empty gaps break rhythm, okay? Even smaller holes, the story that your landscaping is trying to tell, it can't, because all of a sudden you have this nice stuff put in and then there's just a hole. And it's like, well, what's going on here? When they're big ones like this, it's very obvious. And then finally, I'm kind of put myself down here. We've got competing focal points. So focal point is something that you want your eye to be drawn to, something specific, a cool tree, boulder, a pot, maybe a little water feature, like something like that. So when everything is shouting for your attention, nothing feels special. They're competing. And here, it might not be as obvious, but I see it. You got a tree here, you've got a bush over here, they're a little close together, but over here it's very obvious. You've got, it looks like some kind of cypress, maybe it's arborvitae. It could be anchoring over the other side of the garage, but it's not. It's right next to this bloodgood Japanese maple. So they're competing, they're next to each other, and it's kind of confusing. All right, now let's settle things down and let's look at what strong visual flow using the nuances that make up the cohesion key really look like. The first thing would be smooth transition of heights. So when you see how heights rise and fall naturally, it makes a big difference. Your eye actually glides throughout the landscape versus stopping. Here it's very subtle, but it is done. So you got some smaller stuff up in the front. This was left open for some perennials and some seasonal planting on purpose. But then you see how we've got these smaller soft touch hollies, these guys right here, and then boom, we jump to some limelight hydrangeas, which are gonna be a backdrop and get a little bit bigger on this side, as well as these red twig dogwoods here. You see how they're spaced out and broken up, and they are not taking away from the fact that there's another layer behind here. You can see this from all angles of the front. So when you have things that gradually bring in the height, it's much less busy, it's not overcrowded, and your eye doesn't know, like, it actually knows what to land on. Very smooth, especially with a nice clean continuous line like this. Everything's cleaned up. Next thing, you've got full continuous planting beds. So this one's tricky because a continuous bed, it's like a sentence instead of like a bunch of just random words. They keep the story moving, okay? So here we've got a bunch of plants, but they're very intentional. You see, we've got some lower level fountain grasses here, then a different texture that might be a little bit bigger, some kind of juniper. Taller grass here, then even taller grass here. You see how there's layers going on, but when you have that open space, it's actually filled with a different color and texture, and it gives this nice, full, beautiful vibe. And you notice it doesn't take away from the walkway, from the main focal point. You got some height coming up at different spots. Everything is very intentional. Okay, next thing. Let me move my space over here. I don't know where I need to go. Maybe right here. We've got clean, intentional bed lines. So these lines, they're going to gently guide you to the different zones of a backyard or a front yard. It doesn't matter if it's back or front, but when you have clean lines, your eye can rest and it just kind of follows along, and it's very easy. So you know that these are the pathways leading to this zone. This is a pathway leading to this zone. Everything is framed in. The mulch isn't spilling into the gravel. The lawn is separated. Everything is very clean. And then finally, you got one clear focal point. So this one, let me move myself over here. When you have one main focal point, it gives the eye a destination to go to. Everything else supports it. A focal point is something you want the eye to pay attention to. So here we have a zone with a fire pit. So the fire pit area is the focal point. If you were sitting over here at the lounge, this water feature is the focal point, or this kitchen. I know we said one, but I mean one per zone. So one for this zone, one for this zone. All right, so you know the nuances that make up the cohesion key. Let's break it down this way. The big idea is your front yard, it should feel like a smooth walk, not like an obstacle course for your eye. When something is done professionally, it's more calm, it seems more expensive, it just feels more peaceful, and it visually flows. That is the key behind all these things that make up the cohesion key. Listen, if you need help with something like this, this is just one of many things that need to be done for a landscape to look awesome, right? I would love to help you. We design all over the country, if at all 50 states. It's the pinned comment below. If you want a design consultation or if you're ready to sign up for a design, it is there for you. I would love to help you. Okay, so let's get into one of the images that we are going to do some work on. We're going to take the before, we're going to take all of what we've learned, and we're going to transform it, make it look absolutely beautiful. Let's get into the design. All right, so here's the image that we want to work on. Let's get the different nuances of the cohesion key up. We've got smooth transition of heights, full continuous planting beds, clean intentional bed lines, and then one clear focal point. Sometimes I do 2 or 3. We'll get into that part, but I want to make sure that's up there. So starting off, I'm going to need to do some photoshopping here, and I'm also going to do these nuances out of order, okay? The first thing I want to start with, and let's get a layer in there inside the software, is the clean, intentional bed lines, okay? Because we've got to clean it up and then define where we actually going to plant. So let me get this thing cleaned up and we'll get into it. All right, here we go. Okay, so we got some photoshopping done to basically clear the way. And now what I want to do are make those clean intentional bed lines. So I just want to kind of take this guy over, bring it around, continue it over here, bring it down through the sidewalk. A lot of times when you're doing those nice sweeping curves, you want to go through your hardscape surfaces and then connect them on the other side. It's like this invisible line that goes through. We're going to bring it through and around and over, and we're going to define the bed, and then we can start to play around and really spruce this thing up. So let's get into that pot. All right, I'm going to do some mulch. I want to continue this. I want to bring this out just a little bit more. I can see that the roots here are exposed. So if we bring that bed out a little more, that's opportunity to bring in some more topsoil and start to bury those, and then create enough soil that we can put some other plants in there, because right now everything's going to be competing with this tree, and that's not going to work out too well for anybody. And bring it over to here. And then this guy right here, I actually kept him. I thought this would be a cool focal point over by the garage, and it actually blocks the view of the garage door from an angle. So I thought that that was actually a decent spot for this guy. So pull him around. I even don't mind keeping these, I don't know what they are. They might be daylilies, but they give a little bit more texture and color there. So that's cool too. And connect it. And of course it's going to mask a lot of stuff. But now we've got this nice big defined bed to here. And we're not talking too much about hardscaping in this video, but when you do a landscape design project like this, this is a fantastic time if you've got a cracked and kind of yucky walkway to put in a nice paver walkway that's going to have a lot of more color options, texture, vibe. You can completely transform the vibe of your house with really cool pavers. We love to use pavers by County Materials. That's our favorite. And man, do they make a difference. If you are considering a design, you know you need some help, let me say something out there. There is a lot of really cool software out there. There's a lot of AI stuff that's out there. I will tell you, I have experimented in it big time, and it's not there yet. It's great for gathering inspiration. It's great for seeing what could be some possibilities, but there's so much more that goes into this stuff where I think that that's great for inspiration, but the designer is there to bridge the gap and help you from stopping making mistakes. Because if you go off something that's just kind of generated and then you get in there or you hire a contractor, chances are there's a lot of flaws in there. So I just want to warn you that it's a great thing to bring to the table, but have a designer help you for sure. All right, let's get into the next one. We've got smooth transition of heights. Let's get into that next, because I always like to start with the bigger stuff first and then get into the fill and then the focal points. So the focal points kind of go with the heights. Let's work in those heights, which are going to be probably a combo of the focal points. What I see here is we've got this beautiful tree. I just want to update it and make it look a little bit more filled in, because I'm covering some of it with mulch. So let's get in there and see what we got. We're going to represent it with this Hollywood juniper. I think that's close. It's close enough. You get the idea. I mean, we're kind of playing on the fly, right? So let's put that guy in there as one of our focal points, which I think is something that we could have kept if we were going to do this design. You don't have to rip everything out, right? So you got this guy right here, and it's got that kind of bluish green texture. So if I'm going to do something that's going to mimic it, I'd like to do it on the other side so that I'm kind of anchoring the design. So let's find something else. We could do another one, truthfully. Maybe we will, because it's such a long run and it's got that kind of classic architecture. Or I actually think that this might work over in this corner over here. Of course, it'd be scaled down a little, but it kind of ties it in and your eye can see the similarities between the two pieces. I think we could do something small up here, which would be a combination of some heights and some focal points, and then we can start to fill everything in. So what I see here is I don't want to block the view of whatever we're going to put in here. I want something that's going to grab your attention, but it's going to be low enough to the ground. Usually, I like to put me in a boulder. I'm a big boulder guy. So let's take this A lot of times in between windows, that's kind of a dead zone, but these aren't spaced apart too far where I feel like we might be able to just do a continuous flow and then do things with more of a layering effect. So as far as the transition of heights, we got height here, we've got our existing birch tree, we have our existing globe blue spruce or juniper there, and then we've dropped in a boulder. And I think that's all we really need to do. Let's move on to one clear focal point. Let's do that. Let's drop something else in here. And what I want to do is I want to grab your attention going up to the door. We even have this dogwood here. I think putting something really neat in here as a way to greet you as you come up to the door would be a way to do it. And I want to go with a pot. And there's so many cool pots out there. They're not the ceramic that might crack in that really cold weather. You can get those like almost like composite decking kind of pots. Store we have here is called At Home. I love to get pots there. And then I think that's kind of a nice little feature that grabs your attention definitely from this angle, which I love. That's our focal point, which of course we'll plant. Our final step, which is where all the magic is really going to happen, is full continuous planting beds. I think that the way to do this would be to go with our, what I call meat and potatoes, our foundational plantings. Those are going to be some evergreens, some things that we know are going to look good when everything goes dormant. So I want to put some evergreens in there, and then we can start to put some different colors and textures and splashes of color and kind of a layering effect that is going to make this actually jump off the page. These red hollies, this more pyramid look, I actually think that might be nice in the middle, in between these windows. So we got some foundational plantings on that side. You see how crisp and clean and just more intentional this is versus before? Less is more, simplicity is key in 99% of designs, I will tell you that. Okay, so let's step back a little bit and see what we got. You can see it's very tasteful, it's elegant, it's clean. You've got a couple focal points. Your eye has a much easier time going around here and seeing what to land on. So let's add a little bit of color in here. So if we space these guys and do a staggering, it's like a staggering layer effect. You got one here, breaking up in between here. So it's boom, 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 in and out. Okay, so now we've got a much more cleaned up place. Right? We've got some blue, we've got some texture. That texture actually plays off these perfectly. And we've got a nice clean mulch area. Now these mulch areas, of course, they could get flooded with perennials and annuals and whatever else. But like I said, I think less is more, and I might just keep this thing kind of clean. The last thing I want to do is add a little bit of interest on the way up to the walkway or the front stoop. I might add in, to go off of this dogwood tree here, some red twig dogwoods that'll cover up some of this foundation and actually be a way to kind of break up this dead space. I like that little bit of color, that little splash, and let's get something into our focal point. So we've got a little yellowish red, we've got blues and greens, we're keeping the colors simple, we don't need to get too crazy, and we've got a little bit of shade, of course, because of that birch tree. So I think a fern in here would do awesome. And I even think putting some cinnamon ferns around the tree is going to do something as well. So let's get a cool fern in there, and that can be our focal point. And then I just see one more thing I want to do after this. So we're going to add in some cinnamon ferns to put a little bit of life underneath this tree. And then finally, what I see is maybe another way to break it up or bring your eye over towards the walkway is to put another boulder into this area right here. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think that really pulls you down the walkway and it completely transforms this place. Less is more. We got some color texture, and I think that's a fantastic way to do it. You put the lighting in, you light up your investment. You always light up your investment. Spend that money on that landscape lighting, and you're going to have an absolute cherry of a front yard. You're going to love pulling up to something like this. Now, of all the images we showed, we actually have done those projects. If you want to see how we transform one of those bad images into a project, go check out this video right here. You can go see it live. And if you want to stay in the design studio, learn another technique, go check out this video right here. If you need help, it's that pinned comment. Let's get the likes on this video. Help me out. I greatly appreciate it. Had a ton of fun doing this one. I think it turned out wonderful. And you know, this is what we do. This is Bobby K saying creation is everything. So go out and create. See you on the next videos.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't